I hope you can hear me and see my screen. Good evening. Welcome to this episode of the live stream. And good to be back here. Yesterday, I talked about JavaScript, where I talked about prototypes, right? That is the prototype nature of JavaScript and the ability to inherit, right? And we did some nice coding around um, um, using things like the Dunder Proto or the set prototype of, right? And then we eventually talked about constructor functions, right, inside of JavaScript. So that was what we did in the last yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. I mean that's supposed to be like the shortest episode I've ever done. That's supposed to be the shortest episode I've ever done. So today, I will continue right the part two, building out the forgot password and the reset password flow that we have started working on, right? And what we have with this flow is that for reset password, I think we started the initial flow to initiate the flow where we talked about adding this new property called reset token and reset token expiry, right? Which permits us to be able to modify the behavior of what is going on inside of our application. So yes, I hope anybody who watch, like, I think anybody who get the opportunity to watch the episode should enjoy watching it because it was a very short one. Yeah, it was a very short one. So today we're back to writing React. We're back to writing Next.js. I think I found some interesting things around Next.js recently. There's a particular Vercel Labs GitHub. So if you want to really see some interesting things about Next.js, project that Vercel has built. Is it this one? Yeah. These are interesting projects that Vercel is the one building themselves, right? To use, they're just building out Next.js, right? To use all the amazing things that they are building there. But the reason why I think I'm sharing this is that it is quite very helpful, right? You're able to see the code, right? You're able to see the data fetching, the rendering, you're able to see all the powerful things that goes on inside all of this code base right here, and everything is on GitHub. So yeah, it shows so much the power of searching, filtering, and pagination. You can see below here, right? It shows so much the power of filtering, pagination, right, inside of JavaScript, inside of Next.js. Yeah. So you can always check all the repository, even though I can feel there's a small lag. Yeah, I can feel a small lag. All right, there's a small, very small lag that is happening. Right, the lag is between when you click, like, and when the thing appears. Right, it's a small, very small lag. So, please do well to just check some of this repository out. Those are the ways we can learn. Those are the ways you can build amazing things. Right, so you can filter by author. Let's say hey. Okay, so it initially filters everything by author and tells us the ones that, okay, but this is nice. So you are able to see um all this doesn't have any description, right? You can follow the filters. So this is powerful, right? You can always come to the repository to look at what they are doing, right? And I mean, I think we know what this will be doing, other than like we know what they are trying to achieve, right? It's going to be a database. Yeah, so they are using Neon database plus Drizzle, right? So yeah, this yeah, please check them out. These are the ways to learn, right? If you're able to check all these powerful things, you're able to check them out. Then it's another way to learn as well, right? It's another way to learn, right? Everything that is going on here, right? But I don't think it's anything different, right? This is seeding. This is seeding going on. NPM Papa Pass. Papa Pass. Oh, that's interesting. What does Papa Pass do? So I've been to Papa Pass recently. Pass CSV with JavaScript. What's the size? 260 kilobyte. This is too much. The size is too much there. So you can always you can always um, you can always check out these repositories as a beautiful way to learn. And this is just one that we're just checking. You know, there are many things. There are other things that uh there are other repositories that we can always check, right, inside of this their code base as well. At least you're able to check AISDK, SPA, single page app, Reso, then React 19 on Parcel, function. So there are a lot of repositories, Gemini, chatbot, partial rendering, what other ones? So you have app router, authentication, await interaction response, blue green, Vercel nav demo, right? Then the React SPA with uh, Express, next on the edge, remix. Again, this is just a lot, right? So you can always check this out. It's a way to learn. And I think I found some interesting things in that repository for me, right? Because I wanted to use Drizzle for this project initially, but I couldn't use Drizzle. So, but I think after going through, just search for Vercel Labs and check all the repositories on Vercel Labs, right? Vercel Labs, search for Vercel Labs on the GitHub, right? You will see a lot of internal applications that is built by Next.js team themselves about like how to use some of the Next.js features that we also have in there. So it's a way to learn and it's a way to keep ourselves right on track with all the things that we are doing right here. So the last time we were here, right, we're trying to build out and complete our own authentication flow, right? And the last thing we did was we were trying to wire up the the forgot password flow, right? We said the forgot password flow is where we make the request that please, I do want to change my password. And what that does is that it's going to send email to the person who is requesting that they want to change their email, right there. And yeah, let's see. Let's go to dashboard. If we go to dashboard, can we go to dashboard? Yeah, if we are authenticated, we should be able to go to dashboard. But if we are not authenticated, it should not be able to go to dashboard. Mm. So it is not, we are not authenticated, right? Because it's trying to check and it has redirected us back to the login flow, right? And so in the login flow, we can either what create a login, right? There and start. to initiate a process. So yeah, we have the forgot password, right? You will click on the forgot password. So it brings us here, right? You send this email. Now, the thing that is happening is that that email does not exist. Hmm. So the email I provided there was not does not exist. So we need to handle the situation instead of it throwing up an error, right? It was supposed to handle the error, right? And the error happened on line 139, line 139 inside our actions file. So line 139, right? It happened here. And the major reason why that thing happened is that what this particular year must have returned. Can I use the burger here? Let's see if I can use the burger. I'm curious. I'm gonna use the burger here. So I don't know. I've not tried debugging in nextjs application before. So let's open to use the debugger. We need to open our dev tool to make sure that our dev tool is on before we are able to successfully use the debugger. The debugger did not catch it because it is not inside of the browser. Right? It happened inside of the server, so the debugger did not catch it. How can we debug something inside of the server using the debugger in Next.js? I mean, that's what a research, right? Because we're not supposed to, based on the code that we have, we're not supposed to even, if this line throws an error, right? Because here it's trying to check for user.email, right? User email does not exist. That's why it's throwing an error. But it means that this did not return a user. So you want to say that if user, let's console.log what this user is supposed to is returning. The console.log user. Please give me a sec. Come, I'll be back. All right. So I bet that this particular thing here is returning hmm, is returning an object. I think so. This is the object that will return. So it is returning that message. So while it's returning that message, then we can handle that message. Right. So we have the what the get user from DB, which is returning a particular error. So we're saying that this debugger is not working. If user is equals to null or user dot message is equals to what? User is not found, then you can throw this error. And that way it's not supposed to get into the bcrypt hash. It's still getting into that thing. User dot message. I wrote massage or massage. So it should not load anywhere. It should not bring out any error. But it should just throw out this message here. That's all. So it's not breaking the app anymore and it's not getting down to this line. And we can then handle the error later on, right? Handle the message error later on. Do you understand how we blocked that out? Right? How we blocked that the error handling thing out. Yes, yes, that would have been the best to show it toast, right? A small toast to handle that behavior. So if the page is returning a message back, I mean, I've not seen toast in Next.js, but I'm thinking of how to implement toast. I've been thinking about the best way to implement the toast. I'm just thinking about it though. Hmm. I don't know. Anybody with any idea? If you have any idea, you can drop the ideas of implementing a toast. Hmm. But I think when I get there, I'll figure everything out. Hmm. Maybe React. Not sure I want to depend so much on. Not sure I want to depend on so much of libraries, anyways. But I just need something little to get my work done. Uh, yeah, this is not bad. Mhm. Okay, we can dismiss. I think I like this. It supports Tailwind. Okay, that looks very beautiful though. This looks very beautiful. Most importantly, it supports Tailwind. So we can just flash the toast for our user to see, right, that the user with that email does not exist. And another thing is for security reasons, right, it's not good to tell our user that maybe the user with this thing does not exist. That's another security edge, right? You only want to tell them that they will receive a email shortly, right? For security purpose, right? And handle the thing right. Because if you put a user is not found, people can be searching other people's email that they know and be checking if people have account on another password and all of that. On the but have an account with the particular platform, right? So that's one thing there. Also, we introduced this for the very first time in the last episode where we created a reset token and then we were also setting a reset expiry. And eventually we update our database, right? Updating the table. And if the update was not successful, we can throw another toast right here that it was not successful. And if it was successful, then we can send an email to the user for them to see the link to reset their forgot password and that. And I think another thing that we probably would should be checking is maybe so that's the first flow, right? The forgot password, the request for the forgot password, right? That's where we request for the reset password. We've gotten that. That's the one I'm calling forgot password. That is, in that forgot password, you're just going to be telling the application that, hey, I forgot my password. Can you give me a link to reset? Give me a way to sort of reset my password. And that's what happens there. Now, the next phase will be what? We are going to take the link that we are generating, right, and make it actionable. That is, extract out the parameters, check whether those parameters are valid based on the user in the database or the user that is currently logged in, right? And then we can then decide to what reset that password, like give them two inputs, two forms that allow them to reset the password. And we need to also have a action that can handle the reset password flow for us right at that point as well. So this project that I'm working on, right, you can feel free to contribute to it as well. Everything is on GitHub. If you want to contribute to it as well, or you have an idea about implementing something, feel free to let me know so that I can walk you through or provide every necessary assistance that you need. So let's request for let me check the database and look for a valid. Let's just check for a valid email. So this is a valid email on the database. And we have initiated a reset password. And if we go and check our email, if we check Melinator, like this is our forgot password email that came here. The email does not contain the link. So let's try to fix that. And the whole operation happens here. So when we send email, we need a subject, a user, and type. There's a bug in this send email, right? That is why the email is not sending as it's sending correct, like it's not sending correctly. So we need to find the bug. Hmm. I feel like I need to log the mail body here. Or better still, let's not log the mail body. Hmm. Let's go inside the generate email template. So we want to check the template again, the email template, and see what is happening. So the email template expects name, subject, and token. So name, subject, and token. Hmm. I'm not sure this is working. I'm not sure that line is working or working as efficient as it should work. Hmm. Hmm. The URL is not returning anything. Is it logging the user? I think it's logging the user, but I want to be sure. User inside send mail. User inside send mail. So this is the user inside the send mail. There is reset token, there is reset expiry, there is a ID, there is a name, and there's a password. Hmm. Where's the bug here? Yes, I think that it's not saying this variable. So this variable is being represented by reset token, and it's going to break TypeScript, right? Our types, because if we check reset token double T there, if we check this token here that is being sent out, you can see that that token is what lowercase, right? Double, like the token is reset token, and the token starts with a lowercase as well. But I was in our types, we were expecting it to be if I go to type definition, right, we said token should be mm, this is not good. This is very poor. This is very poor. What I just did now is terrible design. Hmm. The reason why I did not change the other token is that there might be a place in the application that I'm depending on reset capital token. So if I also change that one variable, then it will be giving me error everywhere. So that's the reason why I did not change the main one. I just created another duplicate and make it and just made it optional. So you can see now that now the URL is coming through, right? The URL is coming through, right? Then how did you solve it? Did you duplicate the type? Mm. So if we check our email again, there'll be a new email. And the interesting thing is now if I click on what? If we click on this, sorry, it's supposed to be localhost. So it is now rendering this reset page, and that's what we want. Right? Anytime somebody comes with a valid link, it comes here, right? And then we need to extract out this token from the top here. So we need to go into this page reset token page and set it up as well. Hmm. So there's work here for me to do. We can move this into another file, move the whole reset password form to another file. I need to change this button as well. I'm not sure whether this button is still, I think it's likely to be the old button. I change it to the latest buttons that I have. And what else do I need to do? So inside the UI, right, we can create a file called reset password, new file, right? And we can then copy everything, right? We can copy everything. And we can then make it what a use client at the top. Then we need to add all the missing import. Hmm. So this is the major, and then we can import from. All right. Is it a export default or a named? Let's just put it, give it a named export. Yes. So we have that structure of our form. And anytime we have a form, we need like an action to make the form working, right? An action. I think by now we should be so like it should be seamless for us that right actions are the new way to handle form inputs, right? Actions are the new way to handle form inputs, right? Most especially with the help of what our form data, right? With the help of our form data, we use actions to make things happen, right? So here, another thing I want to check is, let me change the button. All right. So, we need to create an action, right? I think everything on the form side is fine, other than the fact that I want to change this button to reset. Let me see reset. And then we can also make this area disabled to be pending. And we can then do what? A const, right? That is, there is the state, there is a request for password dispatch, and there is a pending, and there is a request for forgot password. So this request for forgot password is now going to be the that's going to be the what? That's going to be the action that we are going to create. And here we're also going to put what our request forgot password dispatch. Request forgot password dispatch. Here, this is going to be imported from React DOM, right? Use form state, and we need to create this one request forgot password inside of our actions. So we have our actions.ts, and then we can then have what's the name of the function now? Export async reset request reset password. I think it should be reset request forgot password. Request forgot password. And it's two things that it expects, right? It expects a previous state and a form data, right? And hey, it has filled some things for us. Hey, Copilot, don't put me inside trouble. Let me check what Copilot generated. Hmm. Maybe instead of making this request forgot password dispatch, we can just make it reset password directly. Right? Reset password dispatch, and we can make this one reset password. Reset password. So it's going to it's supposed to be what set password dispatch, and sorry, we need this action, right? Let's just clear everything inside of this database. So maybe we can use Zod to do validation. I'm thinking maybe we should use Zod to do validation, but I'm not sure whether we should use Zod to do validation or not. But the thing here is that we definitely want to extract, get the token and the new passwords. The new password and the confirm and what? The new password, right? And the confirm what? Hmm, confirm password. I mean, what would have been the nice one to do? Is it checking that the token is valid would be the best thing to do, right? Check if the token is valid. Hmm, what would be the best thing here? Should I check that the token is first valid? Get the token and check its what? Its validity and time what? expiry, its validity and expiry. That would have been the first thing. And after that, then um we can then get the password and the what and the confirm password and do what and check if the merge, right? You check if they merge, and then you can then go ahead to do what? What's the next thing? You want to hash the password, right? And then we want to what? Save the password inside the DB. And then we want to maybe send a success email that you have successfully reset the password. And yeah, return a success message, right? Yeah. So again, and I think that listing it the steps out with comments makes it easy for us to implement. I don't know. What do you think? If I mean, maybe when we're able to list out the steps of the actions that we want to do, right? How it somehow helps us, right? It makes it brings clarity into the things that you want to implement, right? So we know that okay, the flow chart or the algorithm for the reset password flow will be like, okay, let's get the token, right? How can we get the token? We need to get the token from the URL, right? So we need to find a way to what tap into the URL, right? Maybe with a use param from nextjs navigation, right, to get our parameter out of there. Now the next thing would be to what? To check whether that token is valid by sending an SQL statement to the database, right? We can send an SQL statement to the database to check for the validity. Now, another thing that we want to do is what? Get what? You can get the password, right? For this particular step, at least you know that what password will have been what password would have been form data to get password and confirm password would have been something like this. So we have this step here. Now here we want to you want to get the token. Now it's not a form data, so we want to get the token from. How do we get the parameter now? How do we get something from a URL? How do we extract something from a URL? How do we extract? I think there should be a use param. There should be a use param. Okay, it's a client component, and our action runs on the server. It's a client component, and our action runs on the server. So we need to find a way to send that parameter to our what? We need to find a way to send the parameter to our action. I think I know what we can do. So here, inside of this form, I'm going to do a use param. And I can console.log what? Console.log the params. So before we fill the form, we can always get our and set it as a word and use form data. I think we can use form data. Can we use form data dot set or append? Hmm. How do we hack into this now? How do we? There should be a way to programmatically create a form data. Programmatically. So let's check MDN reference for form data. Hmm. So there's a form data dot append. Hmm. Let's see whether this will work. So that would have been what a consort token token. I'm not sure this will work, but is a worthy hack. Doesn't look like it should work. Doesn't look like something that should work. So that's the first problem. Capital form data is not a function. So it should be lowercase form data. So it's also not seeing form data there as well. Hmm. So another thing I'm thinking about to do is to make this happen this way. I, I. Let's see if I can console.log. Password reset dispatch here, and I think if I can do something like this here. Do you have any idea about Next.js? Hi Salah, you're welcome to the stream. Hmm, yes, it is React. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see. So the problem now is how do I send token? How do I send token? Like how do we get the URL parameter and send it to this function? Another thing that would have worked is that I can use a hidden field. That's another thing. I can create a hidden field. Mm. So if I create a hidden field, I'm going to just put the token inside of the hidden field. No, I don't know how to. You said password.txt. Line 12. Mm. I'm not even able to extract out. the parameters because that's very important. This is really serious, man. This is very, very serious. This line is not even working as well. Or hmm, another thing is inside of the page component, let's try to use the use param. It will blow out an error and say that use param can only work on client side. That's the error it's going to blow out. Yeah. Yeah. Use param can only be used inside what a component that is marked as use client. So we cannot use it there. But how do we extract out a particular params of a particular page inside of a component? Hmm. It's not even params anyways. I think it's supposed to be what do we call it again now? It's supposed to be a URL search. What do we call this now? What do we call? It's not params. It's supposed to be URL. Uh, URL search param. I think it's supposed to be URL search param. URL search param. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be URL search param. Right. But we need to get to the URL of the page. How do you get such params? How do we get such params in Next.js? We need a way to get search params in Next.js as well. Hmm. So pages can receive the search params. The search params. So how do we extract out search params? Okay, there is a use search params hook inside Next.js. Okay, and we should be able to use that to get our token out. Right? Use search params and so it's going to be search params dot token. So if you want to get the token, that's supposed to be what search params dot token. I like what Ismaila said. Ismail Alsaya said, "Is all PHP devs that have Lambo." That's interesting. Let's see. Yes, I think my brain is just picking it up now. Hmm, let's see. Is it because some of the creators have Lambo? Doesn't mean that all the PHP devs have Lambo. That's quite. Never can say though. Hmm. I think this should work. What is the problem? The UI problem. Hmm. What do you build? I can help. Um, I'm just building an e-commerce project, right? So, and I'm trying to fix some issues that I'm having. Hmm. So if we check and inspect this now, we should be able to see the token logged in the console. Are you seeing no token in the console? I'm trying to extract out the extra token on this page, right? Which I'm already getting now. And the next thing will be to, yeah, I think I've got it figured out. So if we try to, let's just console.log, token, password, and confirm password. So if I try to log these two information here, let's change the confirm password. So it is what type password. So the password and the confirm password is coming, but the token is coming back as null. The token is coming back as null. So it means that this portion inside of our form, not sure this line is being called. How to manipulate the form data inside of um, manipulate form data inside of nextjs. Hmm. Hmm. So we need to be able to. We don't need to reinitialize the form data. Okay, I think this will work. Passing additional arguments alongside. So we can just pass the token as the additional argument alongside. Hmm. An alternative is to pass a hidden field. I think I talked about that. That it's possible for us to pass an hidden field. Let me try hidden field. I would have loved to try the hidden field. The hidden field sounds nice. The hidden field sounds very nice. Um, so at the top here, right, I could just create a impute, uh, a impute. Right, look at this now. I think this is going to absolutely do the justice here. A string. Hmm. Think this is actually cool though. So it's because it is an impute, it will still send it to the form data, whether you like it or not. It will still be part of what will be sent to form data. So let's try to see whether that works. Though. Let's see whether it's going to work. Let's see whether it's going to give us what we want. Hmm. So you can see now that our token is coming in. You can see that our token is coming in and the two password is coming in. I mean, that's very cool though. And it's not even showing on the UI, right? It's not even showing on the UI because again, there's type hidden here, right? So the UI is not going to have any effect on it. But the only thing is it's just sending this value right to this input such that anytime we gather the form data inside of our actions, anytime we gather the form data inside of our action, there will be token inside of the form data. And then we can use the token. I mean, it looks very, it looks sneakish, but it works. I don't know. It doesn't look so, it doesn't feel so right. But I know that that hidden input thing would have really been some a very cool stuff to do there. So sending the token to the action, I was able to send the token to the action that needs it. So I'm also going to try the other approach, right? The other approach said in the documentation that I should use the dot bind. And if you remember the dot bind from what we talked about in the JavaScript, what do we talk about now in the JavaScript episodes where we talked about um, call forwarding? You know, we talked about call forwarding, right? With the dot bind, the dot apply, and the dot call, right? That we can use them in some amazing ways. So let's see if that's going to work. Hmm. So I'm going to go into my form. Then I can then do a I can then do a mm, so this is not even relevant at all. It's not relevant. So I can then do a reset password, reset password dot bind, reset password dot bind, and then we can bind it with null, and we can pass. I'm not sure. I want to skip one extra token, but I'm not sure if this is appropriate. Hmm. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Let's see. Or should I bind? Let's see. I'm not sure this is gonna work, but I want to bind after the dispatches. So I want to do reset password dispatch dot bind, and I want to comment out this hidden form here. So what this means is that expected one argument got to ah ah it's an expected one argument but got to if I pass just if I pass with this now, it's not gonna work. So it means I can't use this one. I'm not sure I can use this one here. But let me try it with this here. Type string is not assignable to parameter of message. Yeah, so I'm just going to pass an empty object here. Yeah, good night. And this is going to be message colon empty. And the next thing is going to be token. Hmm. It's not also allowing me to do that as well. user dot users update user dot bind, update user dot bind. Let's say I wasn't using form. This will work, but I was not using the use form state. But how can I keep the existing? This is wrong. No, absolutely wrong. This null here is supposed to be the context, right? So it's expecting just three things. And the major reason why this is not going to work is because we are still passing this to the use from state. So maybe that cannot work, and I can just stay with the hidden input approach. Maybe it cannot work, and I just have to stay with the hidden input approach. That's very interesting, though. So after getting the token, after we've gotten the token here, right, we can then check the database if the token has not expired, right? So it's going to be await SQL. Let's just see, get user from DB via token. Hmm. Well, let's see first. Let me do SQL. Await SQL. Hmm. What I want to do here is that so here, let's see whether it's going to return a user down back to us. And then we can console.log out the user. So here we're checking, select all the things that is inside the user, where it is reset token, and where the reset token expiry is what is less than, is greater than, yeah, it has not expired, but it's greater than the current time now. So it actually returned our user in the database. I did not see any user in the database. Hmm. Reset token expiry. Reset token expiry. Reset token expiry. As the token expired when? This date. But if we do another reset, it's supposed to update this date here. Today is 17th. At least if we reset for another token, anytime we request for a token, hmm, yes, that's a week ago. So it is not supposed to, because this line here is supposed to, like we've run this line today, but it did not update the reset token field. That's what I'm thinking. This reset token expiry did not update. Now reset token. So this is the way I'm going to know whether it is working or not. Um, I think I can manually, I can manually update. No, I don't even need to manually update that thing. What would have been best is to make sure that the database works. Can you see what is going on? So the data is pointing to 17. Hmm. Okay. It was saving the time. It was saving the date alone without a time. So we need the time to be part of it. So ISO string. Uh, I think that's the problem. It needs to save the time along with the date. It needs to save the time along with the date. So this is date time. Look at me. It's supposed to be date time. So how do we update? Update a table. Let's chat GPT. I need chat GPT to come and help me. Uh, GPT, GPT. So I want to make sure that it is saving the time because it's the time that is crucial, right? Update a user what? A user table, right? So we want to update this particular user value. Hmm. Change, reset, token, expiry to what? Date, time. So that is what alter table user, alter column, reset token expiry to time, timestamp. Okay. And if we select all from that thing, so the time is now there now. So we want to run that query again, right? We want to run the query for forgot password. Forgot password again, and so you can see the time now. I think it is working now. It should be working now. I think it's working now because if we select this now. So now it has added I think it's using the Nigerian time, right? Or GMT time now. I think it's using GMT time now, if I'm sure. And if I query the database now, if we check the email, we'll get another one that just came in a minute ago. And then we can copy this and place this here. And then we can fill this up with what fake passwords, and then we can reset. And we can then check. There should be something inside the database now. There's still nothing inside this select. Hmm. So it means this SQL statement is not run. It's not. How can I select or user where reset token is? Where reset token is greater than. Hmm. So here, what's the value of the token? Okay. So it says that we should put this to be um so let's see whether it's gonna work. For some reason it's still not working. Okay, let's see. So the reset token is not correct, I think. Right? The reset token is not the same as the one in the database. Yeah, but it's still the same thing as this is supposed to be the reset token that I got in the email. This is the same thing with the one I got in the email. So where did you see this token that I sent? That's weird. That is not supposed to happen. That's very strange. I'm going to run it one more time and I'm going to run it one more time to see. Okay, I think I know why. I think I know why. I think I know why. So let's do this like this. Yeah, I'm going to go to the right. We're here, We're going to try to reset the password, right? And this is the reset token that is sending the URL. And we check the email. Right? That's the token. And if we load the application, we want to load the new route. And so the token ends with what? S high 2. S high 2. That's the token. S high 2. So there's a problem. You can see that it is sending a late token. It will regenerate a new one without sending. Something is wrong. Something is wrong here. The tokens are quite different. That SI2 is the last one. So there's a problem. There's a bug somewhere here. This again should be updated user. It has to be updated user at all points. Such that it is the token that is inside of this one that we should be using. The token that was saved in the database that came back. Hmm. What's the structure of updated user? Updated user dot what? No, this can then go back to user. So I'm going to go back and test that behavior. The token has to be consistent. The token has to be consistent. Why are we getting an error in the sending email? Line 17, 117, 117. Hmm. 117, 117. Console.log the error. cannot the structure property email of user as it is undefined. Oh, I remember. Update does not return. I think I remember where the problem is now. Update does not return. Update does not return the user records. Can you see the problem? I Yes, I got the problem. So anytime there's this setting of user, if user is here, it will always reset this one to the last token that is inside of this spread one here. Right. I think that putting this up here, right, should fix the problem. That's very, very, very bad. Hmm. That is very, 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 very catastrophic. S- Hmm. So if user initially, I think I put the user here. So it means that the user that we first get from the DB here, right, will is the one I'm spreading back inside of this place. So it means that the token that is inside of this one will override and reset this token. That's why it was setting it to the last one, right? The previous one. That is, whenever we call the get user, it was getting the last user, but it was not giving us the latest updated token. And because this spread here will override everything that is here, right? So if this happens here, right, and these ones can now reset one with a fresh one, because what we're saying here is what this is the fresh token, and it is the fresh token that we are taking to update our user here, right? And that way it should not override each other anymore. They should not override each other. Let me try it, and I think that should fix the bug. So if we check the melanator, we should see the latest one that just dropped. The token ends with SJQ. SJQ, right? The token ends with SJQ. If I query the database, right, we can see that what is the same token SJQ, right? Right? No more overriding of the token anymore. So we then can copy this. Just copy. Let's copy the URL here, and I'm almost done for today. Because once we get this working, I'll just um finish the whole, like, just make you work, and then I'll clean everything up later on. So we can then go to the UI, update our UI here, and this will load the reset form. For the reset form, we fill the password, right? And we try to reset. And now it should be fetching something from our user now. Can you see now? That is, the token has not expired. So if we want to play with that now, this time says, what's the time here? Says 4:53, 4:53. I don't even know. Is this setting it to be 1 day? I'm not even sure whether I setting it to be 1 day or it is using GMT. but I don't even know exactly what the time is doing. So what I would have done is that, how can I break the application now? I'm thinking of a way to break it, but I'll think about a way to break it later on. So as at this point now, this will be a valid user that what? So this place is supposed to be what? User dot row what? User dot rows, right? Of one, right? That will be the valid user. How can we handle the error that comes out here? How can we handle the error that comes out here? Okay, so we can do this, right? That is, if user.row.count is not equals to one, then we can see that what message is invalid or expired token. So here we can get the two password, right? Confirm that both of them are the same thing, right? I mean, if they are equal to each other, right? If this is not equal to each other, you can return an error that it doesn't match as well. Then we want to hash the new password, right? Hash the new password. Then we can then try to what? Update what? The user, that is SQL, update user, set password with the hash password where reset token, right? And this is going to work. Again, what problem can happen here? Hmm. Welcome, Bosse. We're about completing the other part of the reset password. Let me just see whether it gets here. Oh, so there was party. You had people around. You had a celebration around. Happy birthday to your son. Hey. Let's just see if it gets here. And success email. And you can just see that the type is maybe password. Let's see, password, password reset success. Or maybe we should just call it success. Password reset success. And in the set email, this type definition now, or in the actions, we want to make sure that this here can accept, maybe you reset, hmm, or maybe we can say reset, password reset successful, password reset success. And I think we can just drag all these types out and we can say const what? Type is what? Can we do this? Z dot literal. No, that's not what we want. I know this is union. There should be a z dot union. Is there a z dot union? Think so. Hmm. Type dev or type dev is equals to this. Hmm. We can say this is what type type of type dev send email. So let's see whether if we do a z dot infer type of type dev. Now let's see what that is. Hmm, why can't we do a z dot infer? Hmm. Z dot infer. Let's check the documentation before I use ChatGPT. Zod, and then we want to check for let's see unions. And dot infer. I need dot infer. Hmm, it's impute z dot impute. Hmm, doesn't seem we can find z dot. Hmm. Maybe I'm going to fix the Zod implementation later on. I'll fix the Zod implementation later on, and I can then I can just use this one here just to make it type dev. And so inside here, I was sending the email. You want to say that if the email is success, if the email type is this, uh, maybe we want to break this down by declaring body to be null initially, right? And then we want to use an if statement, right? Use an if statement. If type is register, you want to do generate, right? And so let's do let here, and we want to. subject. I think this is subject. This subject, yeah, it's supposed to be subject. And else if type is forgot password. No, no, it can't even be a sample. Let's see. What do we have before here? Yeah, turn it into an if statement. You want to turn that into an if statement, if else statement. Can you turn this into an if statement? TypeScript or both of you should be able to turn this into an if statement. Uh, mm, 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 more. Hmm. But I just write it myself. I cannot see a way to generate it. So I will say if type register is this, then you want to do mail body is equals to what? Generate name and subject, else, else, it is going to be what? Else if, right? Else if type is this, and else if it is password success, right? It's supposed to be something that looks like this. Mm, I'm not sure even if it's password success. Do we need anything other than what register is doing? Hmm. Maybe we should just keep it simple for now. I don't want to make it complicated. I just don't want to make it complicated. And then we can make this to be null. And inside of this action, the last action there, then we can then say that percent this, which is supposed to reset, and user type. We can just make type register, right? We cannot even send any type. Let's just leave it like that. Such that the only problem is that I probably would not like the body of the message, right? I probably would not like the body of the message. So, but if you have our sample, because we just want to give them like a body of our own. I need to properly write a email template function that is robust that I can use to be sending email. I need a very robust email function that can I mean, and I don't mind PR. If anybody is open to maybe make a PR to what I am doing, right? You can make a PR. But for now, I'm just gonna manage what I have, and I'll depend on the success message to make that work, right? But it's gonna work, right? At least I'm going to see my success here, which is password successful and all of that. And I can return a message again because here, if we can do a password reset successful. I mean, again, is there any difference between React and Next.js? I'm not sure there's any difference there. It's just the same thing that is happening. So we can write next. If we can write React, we can definitely write next. So if we check our email, we should see another email that says password reset successful, right? So we can then log in now with our new password, right? We can then log in with our new password. Mm. So I'm just going to rerun the flow one more time and just confirm that everything maybe works as it should work. So I'm going to sign up with a new user, right? Let me sign up with a new user. This automatically logs us in. So we can run to application to log us out. I need to implement a logout functionality as fast as possible. Okay. Okay. So we can say that let's log in, right, with the details that we have. Right. And you can log in with the password. And this is going to log us in as well. All right. So we're logged in. We want to log out again. So we then want to forget our password and change the password to something entirely different. So we paste this email here, right? We go to our mail, back to inbox. We're able to get this, right? We got a forgot password request, right? And we can copy this into this URL here and can paste it here. And I need to change the password. And now I'm going to change the password to, and I can reset that password. And if I check my email, I should have a successful, right? So the next thing will be to try to log in with the new password, right? And attempt to log in with the new password. And with the new password, and that should log me in with the new password. Beautiful. Yes. Again, I mean, it's just the complete process of setting up like a proper authentication, right? Where I mean, it's been a nice learning experience. I mean, I was thinking about it today that I really think during the week I don't touch this code base at all. I just come in here with my head blank and I just try to do everything. Like it's not like I have prepared for this. This is just me building it. Like if I'm building it personally, right? This is what I'm going to be doing here. You see, like I'm using Chat GPT on the fly. I am checking documentation on the fly. I probably don't even know how everything works, right? So it's just again, it's a learning process here. That's what I'm trying to do with the live streaming. We'll just come around and build something on the fly, right? And we just learn, right? There are sometimes it will not work, there are sometimes it will work, but that's the goal of a developer, right? We just keep building, right? Until we're able to like build amazing stuff that we can be proud of as much as possible. Now that we've got like the authentication and all of that working, um, I'm going to try to clean up the code base, bring in Toast such that the UI can look um, more, more interesting. And another thing that we want to do right into this is I need to implement the what the GitHub and the Google sign-in. We'll be implementing the GitHub and the Google sign-in. So we'll implement the GitHub and the Google sign-in. So that's going to be my next two focus. And I think the magic link and the passkey. I can't take the two together on a live stream, but I can take Google and GitHub together, right, on the next stream. So we'll try to just do that. And eventually, if we get the two to work, then we can then do the magic link and the passkey. And that should be all for the authentication. Yeah. We're going to use authjs as well. We'll be using authjs for all the authentication process. So authjs is what we're going to use. Authjs has a Google, they have a provider sign-in, right, that we can leverage on. They have a provider sign-in that we can leverage on. So we're going to use that. So it's going to depend heavily on, it's going to depend, why is their website this dragging? So they have these providers, right? They have the providers, and the provider that we're going to start with is GitHub and Google. GitHub, Google, and GitHub. So those are the ones. So we're going to be using GitHub auth, right? And we'll set up a callback URL, and then we'll try to get all these things. So we're going to be getting this auth ID and Google ID and Google secret from Google dashboard, our Google developer dashboard. And the same thing for GitHub as well. We're just going to get that up and running. I mean, if I can implement it within an hour, that would be fast, such that I can also implement the magic link and the passkey. I would love to quickly do that as well. But trust me, I enjoyed the whole stream today. Yes, I did enjoy it. It was just a way to learn, And thank God there's AIs everywhere to help. Copilot, Chat GPT, and initially before starting the streaming, I was feeling tired. I was feeling sleepy and tired as well. I didn't enjoy the teaching I did today with my V4 students. I didn't enjoy it at all. So they were just disturbing the class. But I wasn't sure I wanted to stream. I wasn't having the good vibes of I wanted to stream in the early phase. So I mean, it's just normal for them to. They want me to teach them everything. You know what happens in the early phase now. Everybody's disturbing the chat. You want me to teach everything and all of that. So yeah, and we are behind schedule. So we're behind schedule as much as possible. I introduced them to JavaScript today, but I've not completed CSS with them. So they are fighting that I should complete CSS, that they probably don't like the CSS on the LMS. So I think that's been a complaint. That's been a complaint for a long period of time. Everybody doesn't like the CSS on the LMS and all of that. So it's a big deal. But I'm working on it to see how we can make the CSS curriculum a lot more interesting. So I was feeling so bad and down, but now, yeah, writing code is, it has made me, up and running again back. So hopefully we should be starting JavaScript. Uh, we should be starting JavaScript with them fully, like introduce them into React. So another thing you can do for me as well, Nifemi, is that I think I have my class notes. You can feel free to contribute as well to the class notes that I'm building. You can always check them on GitHub if you want to. I can add you to like a Discord group where I'm working with some persons that helps me with my class notes, because I'm working on the JavaScript and I'm working on the React one as well. So I want it to be the best, right, possible, right, such that I mean, I've taught you before, so you understand what the experience is like. You've written React, and you can help me to, to add value to make it a lot more, much more better, right? Yeah. So, I mean, we should also talk about like what are your plans for after art school? What are you planning to do as much as possible? Just feel free to message me on any maybe social media, right? Any place we can talk, and yeah, I'll be willing to help as much as I can. Thank you for joining the stream. I mean, having you around, having somebody around is always like a blessing for me and all of that. So I do appreciate. All right, and I think that should be all for today. I mean, the next thing after the whole authentication is that we are building out the major flow, the dashboard, and that would also be like another discussion, because we're going to talk about what is the table, um, what is the table going to be like for products, right? Then we need a dummy data for our products. We need dummy data, dummy images. Then we're also going to need a table for maybe cat. I'm not sure whether we need table for cat or not, but whatever. I'm still thinking about it as well, so that I'll come up with a plan and then we can work with that. So thank you so much for joining and enjoy the rest of your day.